I never thought I'd be in this situation. I was happily engaged to a woman I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. I had spent over 3 years with Emily, and when I finally proposed, it was everything I could have dreamed of. I went all out, renting a beautiful resort in the mountains for a weekend getaway, picking out the perfect diamond ring I knew she had always wanted. I spent weeks planning every detail, making sure it would be a day she would never forget. The moment she said yes, I felt like the luckiest man on earth. The future looked bright. But little did I know, Emily was about to throw a curveball into what I thought was a perfect relationship. After I proposed, things started to change, but I didn't think much of it at first. Emily began spending more time with her friends, which she'd promised wouldn't happen after we got married. But I understood. It was her way of enjoying her last months as an unattached woman, I assumed. No big deal, right? But as the weeks passed, her behavior started to shift in ways that left me confused. I started noticing she was becoming more and more flirtatious with her male friends, even making jokes that made me uncomfortable. She'd laugh about how I would do anything for her, calling me her manslave, but I figured she was just joking around, maybe using humor as a way to deal with the stress of our upcoming wedding. The jokes kept coming, but I kept brushing them off. It wasn't until one night around a campfire with some of our closest friends and family that everything changed. We were all laughing and chatting, the warmth of the fire making the evening feel special. That's when Emily casually dropped a bombshell. She turned to me, grinning, and said, "He's so sweet. He forgave me for cheating, and then he proposed to put it all behind us." Everyone went quiet. A couple of friends looked at me with wide eyes, and one of them asked, "Wait, you forgave her for cheating? When did that happen?" Without missing a beat, Emily turned to me, eyes locked with mine, and casually said, "Oh, a few days before we went to the resort. I slept with one of my friends. How could you forget? It was unforgettable." She laughed, and I could hear a few of her friends chuckling in the background. I was in complete shock. I could feel my heart drop into my stomach. The warmth of the campfire suddenly felt distant, the air thick with tension. I stared at her, confused, waiting for some kind of clarification. When I asked her to explain, she just looked at me, still laughing, and said, "Just kidding, it was a joke." But the damage was already done. I didn't care if it was meant to be a joke. There was no excuse for saying something like that, especially not in front of people who had no business hearing it. She had completely humiliated me. I could feel the anger bubbling inside me, but I chose not to react. I stayed silent for the rest of the evening, unable to process what had just happened. When we got home, I thought we'd finally talk about it. I was ready to confront her about what she'd said. But Emily acted like nothing was wrong. She rushed off to the shower, leaving the diamond ring I had given her sitting on the table as if it was nothing more than a trinket. I was seething, but I held back. I had to calm myself before confronting her. I was done being disrespected. I packed a few things and drove to my best friend's house. I texted Emily, telling her that the wedding was off. I wasn't sure I could marry someone who could so easily mock me in front of our friends, especially someone who didn't even seem to care about the emotional toll her actions had on me. I needed space, and I wasn't sure I even wanted to continue this relationship. Her response was immediate. She called crying. She tried to explain that I was too sensitive and that it was just a joke, but it didn't matter. Jokes have boundaries, and she crossed them. I tried to remain calm and explain that it wasn't about the joke, it was about respect. Then she said something that made me laugh bitterly. "The ring is mine. You can't just take it back." I responded coldly. "That ring was a symbol of my love and commitment to you. And now, it's a symbol of the fact that I no longer want to marry you. So yes, I can take it back." She didn't know what to say after that, and she hung up. But the drama didn't stop there. She started posting on social media, calling me a cheapskate for stealing her engagement ring. Her friends and family rallied behind her, and I was bombarded with messages, accusing me of being unfair. But all I could think about was the disrespect she had shown me. The more I thought about it, the clearer it became. This was a wake-up call. I couldn't marry someone who found it funny to humiliate me, who didn't understand the weight of her words or the importance of mutual respect in a relationship. She was playing games, and I wasn't willing to be a pawn anymore. As the days went by, Emily continued to lash out, trying to guilt-trip me into giving her another chance. But I stayed firm. I didn't need someone who would tear me down for their amusement, and as painful as it was, I knew it was time to let go. Now I'm moving on, and I've learned one thing for sure. No matter how much you love someone, you should never tolerate disrespect. No joke, no matter how harmless it seems, should ever come at the cost of your dignity, and that's something I'll carry with me from here on out.